Hey everyone, I'm Joe, and we're back. Sort of. We're back next week, officially, but I've got some important things I want to kind of discuss before we return properly. Kind of touch on the things that I touched on in the community post that I posted on YouTube and in the Discord and on Patreon, and go into a bit more detail on that kind of thing. We'll try and keep this as organised as possible, so just bear with me please. I am also battling a bit of an illness. I'm on antibiotics, so hopefully it goes away soon. It sucks because I'm sort of adamant and desperate to get back into the saddle to record. I've got games I want to finish, I've got games I want to start. You know what I'm talking about? So it just kind of sucks, but we'll be back soon, I promise. As soon as I feel remotely up to it, I'm gonna get back to recording this weekend, hopefully. Yeah, we're starting properly next week. I can guarantee that, whether or not I'm well enough, basically, because I'm desperate to get back. First of all, I want to thank you all for your patience. It's been a weird couple of weeks because half of me's been actually really enjoying this little breakaway from the channel. It's given me some time to kind of spend more time with my family, play some games in my free time, watch TV. TV's been great these last few weeks. There's been some of my favourite shows have all been on at the same time. And yeah, it's all given me a nice breather. But the other half of me has just been really itching to get back into the saddle, like I said, and to see all you lovely people again. Don't flatter yourselves. But I've sort of had to take a step back and kind of realise that if I do want to return at my best and make sure I put everything into this year, then I've needed a break like this to kind of refuel and just reevaluate myself, reevaluate the aspirations for the channel and what exactly I want to do this year. So again, thank you for your patience, and yeah, let's talk about it. So it is a new year, it's 2026, I've got new aspirations for the channel, and for Patreon especially, I want to put more into Patreon, like I said in the post. I want to work on doing some exclusive videos on Patreon, I think. I'm never going to lock a full playthrough behind a paywall. I've said this before, I'm not comfortable with locking important stuff like that behind a paywall, but I do want to work on some kind of like reaction based kind of short form stuff, just something to give back to you guys more and show my gratitude a little bit more, I think. So you can expect that kind of thing over the next few months. I said in the post I'm going to do them kind of until I run out of ideas, basically, because, you know, the reason I haven't done much exclusive stuff on Patreon is because I just haven't had ideas for stuff like that. We've done a couple of behind the scenes videos, like the video of me trying to put on a wig, don't ask, and but you know, I've got a few ideas, I think, some reaction based stuff, so if you are interested in that, then that's going to be for Wizard and Legend tier patrons. Rogue tier patrons will still get access to early access and stuff, but Patreon remains the best way to support this channel, and I wouldn't be here without you guys, so I want to make sure I'm putting more into that, and you can expect to see stuff like that over the next few months, definitely. Speaking of experimenting, I think maybe my biggest goal for this year, or maybe early next year, I don't want to rush into things, but I would eventually like to make a second channel based around kind of reactions to stuff like movies and anime and that kind of thing. I think that'd be really nice to do. I know a lot of people do that, but there's a lot of stuff I want to watch, and there might be some overlap into the things that we can react to based on the stuff we've already done on the channel, like D&D related stuff, you know, but I'm doing a bit of research into copyright law and that kind of thing, and I'm sort of drafting how the Patreon will look for that, because it would have to be a very Patreon kind of oriented thing, you know, in order to avoid copyright, because there's a whole bunch of laws and stuff to do with that, so I'd need to make sure I could do it properly and dedicate a lot of time into that. So I'm working on that. I'm working on a plan for that, and I'd work it into the current Patreon that we have now, obviously. I'd probably make kind of two different sections, so when you go into the Patreon you get in reaction based stuff and gaming based stuff, but we'll talk about that more, I think, when we're closer to that, because it's not going to be now, but it would be a nice goal for this year, I think. And I think the Patreon exclusive kind of reaction based stuff that I'm talking about doing over the next couple of months would be a nice kind of segue into that kind of thing. Something else I wanted to talk about is I've seen a couple of comments regarding YouTube memberships. Now, it does exist. It is an extra way to support the channel if you would like, but in terms of setting it up as an actual alternative to Patreon, I've sort of been against that at the minute because of it being not the best way to support the channel, basically, because of the cut that YouTube takes. Patreon remains the best way to support the channel financially, and There's stuff like the fact that you can't link your Discord account directly to it, like you can Patreon. There's just a lot of things that YouTube members doesn't do as well as Patreon, but if it is easier as a way to support the channel rather than kind of creating a Patreon account and stuff, do let me know if it's something that you would like me to set up. I'd rather put all my energy into Patreon, I think, and build a sort of deeper, more personal community there. But there is still the warm YouTube members tier there if you'd like to support the channel. You can get stuff like emojis and badges and stuff, but not all the benefits on Patreon, like early access and exclusive videos and stuff. Now, the stuff I'm sure a lot of you have been wanting me to talk about. Let's talk Half-Life. Half-Life 2 is obviously the next big game we're going to be playing on the channel, and it is coming very soon. I'm hoping early next week, like I mentioned in the post. The reason it's been delayed a little bit is because I've been ill, and I've actually bought a Gordon Freeman related item of clothing, and I've been waiting for it to arrive in the post so that I can wear it while I'm recording it. It's not, you know, don't get your hopes up. It's not a full-on HEV suit or anything. I'm certainly not going to dye my hair ginger like Gordon, because the truth of the matter is that I disapprove of people with ginger hair. That is a joke, please don't clip that. But it is something I like to wear for the video, and it's taken longer to arrive in the post than I would like. So it should be here within the next couple of days, hopefully, and we can wear that while I'm recording. Look, I've bought it now. You know, I've spent a fair bit of money on it, and I'd be quite disappointed if I didn't get to wear it for the playthrough, so I'm wearing it. I'm also looking into how I would potentially get a VR setup so that we can play Half-Life Alyx. Admittedly, I'm a little bit anxious because it would require me to change a lot of my current setup, my camera setup, stuff like that, and I don't have a whole lot of space in my bedroom. The main reason is I do have quite bad motion sickness. It's the reason I've mostly avoided VR for my whole life, so we'll have to see. It'd be awesome to do, and it'd be awesome to play Half-Life Alyx as my first proper VR experience, but it'd just take a lot of time to set up, and I'd have to probably take a sickness tablet before I did it, but let me know if you would like to see that. I'm sure you would. It'd be an interesting experience, to say the least. And I want to make sure I have the whole story ready for when Half-Life 3 comes out very soon. Very soon. The Dark Age playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 is still continuing once a week, of course, every Friday on Patreon and Sunday on YouTube. I'm looking forward to starting another big RPG after that, actually. I reckon we'll have a long-running RPG on the channel alongside a slightly shorter game of a different genre. I think it'd be nice to have two different games of different types running at the same time to kind of cater to different tastes, you know? So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to putting some pretty big heavy hitters into a poll, like Dragon Age Origins and the Legend of Zelda games and the Final Fantasy games and all those. It's going to be great. We've got a lot to look forward to after the Dark Age playthrough is finished. Yeah, 2026 is going to be a great year. I can already feel it. I hope so, anyway. In terms of other stuff on the high priority list, I do need to return to Expedition 33, actually, and check out the DLC, which I can hopefully do in one video. So, I can't wait to check that out. It looks interesting, to say the least. And if you haven't already checked out the Expedition 33 playthrough, now is the time, because I will be doing the DLC at some point within the next few weeks. Hopefully it's just finding the time, because it's kind of a one-off video to work into the week's schedule. So yeah, I will be getting to that at some point, and I'm looking forward to it. In terms of what we're going to be playing after the Half-Life series is finished, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. The last poll we did was a while ago, and obviously Portal was the game that won, but it did only win by a couple of votes. Undertale was actually very close behind it, and Bioshock was also very close behind that, so they might be the games that we play next. Because they were very close in votes, and Undertale especially is a game I've been wanting to play for a long time. So that might be the game that we jump into after Half-Life, we'll see, or we might do a different poll, put a couple of other options in as well, we'll see. And like I said, we'll obviously do a poll to decide the next big RPG game as well after Dark Age is done and dusted. So yeah, really exciting stuff to come on the channel this year. TLDR, keep doing more of what we're doing in terms of playthroughs, hoping to get through even more games this year, I think, which shouldn't be too hard, because we basically only played Baldur's Gate 3 for half the year last year, but it'd be nice to have a long-running RPG on the channel alongside a shorter game of a different genre, kind of like what we're doing now. I want to look into trying out some VR games with Half-Life Alyx first, I reckon. If I can get that set up and if I can avoid projectile vomiting all over my bedroom on account of my motion sickness, then that would be very nice. The most important thing is I want to put more energy and time into giving back to you wonderful, very important people on Patreon, you supporters. So I expect to see more exclusive stuff later throughout the year there. Finally, the big goal for either this year or next year would be a second channel, focusing on reactions to stuff like movies and anime, because there's a lot of... I've basically never watched any anime in my life, and there's a lot of big movies that I've never seen either. And finding a way to work that into the existing Patreon, so that'll be a nice way to add more value to the Patreon as well, I think. So if you are thinking of supporting the channel, then now is the time to do so. But just liking, commenting, subscribing, all of that is more than enough, like I've said before. So that's it, really. Pretty short. Apologies for my voice sounding terrible, I can't help it. But I'm hopefully going to get better over the next couple of days, and just thank you for your patience, thank you for your support. In terms of actually getting to live out my dreams of doing this kind of thing on YouTube, getting to be creative, stepping out of my comfort zone, and just getting to share my love of video games online. I think last year was so much more than I could have asked for. It was spectacular, and I want to make this a great year as well. So, that's it. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for supporting, thank you for being here, and I'll see you very soon, I promise. Thank you. Good night. A very appropriate mug for how I'm feeling right now, by the way. I'm feeling shit, but I'm excited. So, yeah, good night.